So this young woman went to visit her boyfriend who was very sick. Unfortunately, the next morning, she was the one who was found dead in her boyfriend's house. So around the 8th of December 2025, a 35-year-old woman by the name of Ogechukwu went to visit her boyfriend, 26-year-old Valentine Chibuike, who was said to be sick and needed someone to come be with him. And somehow, some way, the next day, her family could not reach her. But they knew she went to Valentine's house. And by the time they got to Valentine's house to find out if she's there, that was when they realized that the worst had happened. How did you go to visit your boyfriend who is very sick and you are the one ending up dead? So from what we know, Ogechukwu, who they say is 34, was dating a 26-year-old man. It's unclear if this age is certain about the man, but this is what is being reported. Ogechukwu was also very close with her family and she was in communication with them. She basically was not living far off from them. And they knew about her movements and they also knew about who she was dating. The said man, Valentine Chibuike, who they say is 26 years old. It's also said that he was her fiancé. Ogechukwu already has a 4-year-old child from a previous relationship. And she is from Anambra State. Valentine Chibuike is also from Anambra State, Umuji. And it's not clear how long they've been dating or how long they had been in that relationship. But it was said that they were planning to get married in December of 2025 or January of 2026. And this clearly indicates that they have been dating for quite a while. For there to be talks of getting married, this is not a newbie relationship. However, on the 9th of Monday, the 8th of December 2025, it was said that Valentine went to Ogechukwu's house and told her that he was sick. He also met her mother that evening in Ogechukwu's house. Apparently, it's possible that she stays with her family, or either that or her family stays with her in her own house. However, she did not live far from her boyfriend Valentine. They seemed to live not far from each other. While Valentine was in Ogechukwu's house, he made sure to indicate that he was sick for her to hear and for the mother to also hear. They encouraged him to go to the hospital to check himself out. But he said that the sickness was not serious and that he would go to the hospital if it became worse. He eventually left and went back to his house that day. Around 10 p.m. that same night of the 8th of December, Valentine called Ogechukwu and told her that his sickness was getting worse and that he needed help. He could not help himself. He even asked her to buy drugs and bring to his house, which was not far from her own again. Ogechukwu quickly got up, told her parents where she was going, and let them know that she was going to take care of her fiancé, her future husband to be. She bought the drugs and went to see him. And when she arrived, Valentine told her that his condition had become worse and begged her to stay the night and take care of him. And this was no big deal because, again, they were practically married. This is her fiancé. They were going to get married in a few days or the following month in January of 2026. So this was nothing out of the ordinary. But before Ogechukwu would spend the night, she made sure to call her family, her mom, to let them know that she was spending the night at her boyfriend's house, Valentine, to take care of him because he was sick. She even went on to let them know that the next day she might not also come back home because if his sickness doesn't get better, she's going to take him to the hospital. And they were fine with it. By Tuesday morning, the 9th of December 2025, Ogechukwu did not return home. Her mother called her, but she was not taking her calls. Family members called her, she was not taking her calls. And they also knew that they could not reach her through the phone. They started calling the boyfriend, the fiancé per se, Valentine, because they knew she was with him. However, Valentine also was not taking his call. No response. Texted him on WhatsApp, messaged him, tried calling him, and nothing. In the call before Ogechukwu decided to spend the night with the fiancé, she also mentioned the nurse that she was going to call that would come home and take care of the boyfriend. And so, by this next morning, when they are trying to get a hold of them and could not, the family reached out to the nurse to let them know that, to ask, if she has seen Valentine and Ogechukwu. And the nurse said to them that, nah, I haven't. And so they went to Valentine's house to check for them, but the house was locked. They pretty much assumed that they were not in the house, or basically assumed that she had actually taken him to the hospital like she said she would. But it did not make sense that they were in the hospital and they were not taking their phone calls. They were worried. The family was worried. And so they went to the police station to file a report, but the police could not declare them a missing person because it was just only a few hours. And again, she did indicate that she was going to be at her boyfriend's house and then take him to the hospital. They basically just encouraged them, the police, encouraged them to go check hospitals. But the family knew that it couldn't have been because, again, regardless of the hospital that they were in, their mobile phone was ringing and they are not taking it, which indicated something was wrong. And they were right that something was wrong. At this point, Ogechukwu's mother, who was already frantic and worried, involved other family members and they went back to Valentine's house. Apparently, they got to realize that when they make the call, they call the phone, it rings in the house. So they forced the door open only to find the lifeless body of Ogechukwu on the bed with multiple stab wounds around her body, was everywhere, and Valentine was nowhere to be found. However, his mobile phone, along with that of Ogechukwu's mobile phone, were found in the house. They immediately called the police, and when the police arrived, they found a badly written note at the scene. And this note had some write-ups on it that suggested Valentine had been kidnapped and that Ogechukwu was murdered by people who Valentine was owing money. Because the note read, "This nigga they owe us money, we track him down, kill him woman, kidnap him, go." That was what was written on the notes. And funny enough, if I had seen, let's assume I'm part of the police team and I see this note, I will call bullshit from the get-go. Nobody who comes to collect money or debt would kill a woman and then kidnap the man and then write it down. You can tell it's as fake as that kidnapper who tried to fake a northern accent. Why would a kidnapper, as dumb as a kidnapper or a killer would be, write that we killed a woman? Obviously you did. She is laying there dead. So there will be no reason to write it again. If they had written anything else other than "we killed the woman," which is something which they could see, it shows you that this is a setup. But the family had their doubts. They believed that, okay, maybe for real, this was the case. Debtors that Valentine were owing money had heard that he was getting married, and so they've come back to destroy his life. It made sense for that mood. It made sense for the time being. It made sense that that could have been the situation. The police recovered the notes, but did not make it public at the time. Ogechukwu's cousin by the name of Angela and other family members shared the story on Facebook and announced her death. They also called on the public to help with information that could lead to Valentine's arrest or Valentine's rescue. Because at the end of the day, even the family, some members of the family called bullshit. They did not believe this was any form of kidnappers, and they believed it was Valentine. On the 7th of January 2026, after about 1 month in hiding, the police finally arrested Valentine Chibuike in Ughelli, Delta State, where he was hiding. After his arrest, he confessed to killing Ogechukwu by stabbing her in the neck. He said the reason he did it was because he suspected her of being unfaithful. He also claimed that he was broke and owed people money while trying to start a business for her. He made it seem as though the money he borrowed from people was what he used to start a business for her. And according to him, these issues affected his state of mind, and he killed her the night before running away. The police said the investigations are still ongoing. The reason he gave as to why he killed her was according to news reports and probably what he said after he was arrested. But the family said Valentine has not told them exactly why he killed their daughter, which means they don't buy that he killed her because she was unfaithful or because he borrowed money to open a shop for her. The family believes that there is a more deeper reason why he did it. And I have a thought, I have an opinion. But let's finish the story. Ogechukwu's body was eventually released to the family because it was kept by police for investigation while Valentine was still in custody. They conducted an autopsy and she was buried on the 17th of January 2026. The autopsy results are not yet out, but there are claims that she may have been drugged as well. Well, if the drug accusation is true, then I wonder what could have been the reason. Maybe to limit her from shouting or screaming, because I don't know. But the autopsy results will reveal that. But now let's come to the big question: his actual motive for killing her. Remember, he had gone to see her earlier that day and had been in her house and had complained about being sick and called her to come because he was sick. This looks orchestrated. If he was very angry that she was cheating, he would not have created all those drama. He would not have been nice in her house. I don't think so. Or could it be when he was in the house, he saw something that made him believe she was cheating and then decided to fake being sick to lure her to come to his house to deal with her? I don't know. Now, this to me feels like the reason why I feel, or I think, and I also think the family are also saying the same thing, given their age difference. She's way older. She's like 10 years older. I guess he was trying to avoid getting married to her and did not know how to do it. That is what it looks like. Because the marriage was going to happen that month or the following month. And I think he needed a way out. That is what I think. I don't think it was for rituals because, he ran away. I think he just wanted to get out of getting married to her. We've seen instances like this. That's my thoughts. But you guys, let me know your thoughts.